In this video, I'm going to give you my 5 elite writing tips for new writers. Even if you are an established writer or author, you can level up your game with these tips. If you apply all or even a few of these tips to your game, you will start your writing journey off way ahead of other new writers. Pay special attention to tips number 3 and 1. These are game-changing tips that not many writers or new writers use until late in the game. And surprisingly, even established writers don't seem to use these as much as they should. What up, internet? I'm Tim Green. This is my writing channel where I document my writing journey and give advice on my 20 years of experience. I do have a free Excel word count trackers that you can download for free. Like, subscribe. We're counting down from 5 to number 1, so let's get started. Have a plan. No. I'm not talking about planning your novel. That's solid advice, but it's not for everyone. It's just not. I'm talking about having a concrete plan of what you're going to do with this. How you're going to accomplish this goal of writing a novel. How you're going to learn to do this. How you're going to learn to write a novel. Are you going to pants or plot your novel? When are you going to actually work on this novel? Is the novel a series or a standalone? Etc. I know. Yeah, it's all that. You gotta figure all that out. Seems a lot. And yes, let me go back to that first point. You do need to figure out how to write a novel. You may think you do, but you don't.
You don't.
Only the foolish think they can sit down and write 65,000 words or more without figuring this out. Trust me, I know. It's part of how I learned.
And it was painful.
Yes, part of learning how to write a novel is writing one. But do yourself a favor when you finish that novel. Throw that thing in and lock it up and throw away the key, because it ain't worth publishing. Okay, you can keep the key because you may want to come back to it, but lock it up. Move on to the next one. Because part of learning how to write a novel is not writing one and publishing. No, it's writing multiple books before you publish. You know what you're doing. Work on multiple projects. This only works if you plan on writing multiple novels or series as a writer. Because some people may only want to write one. If you're not going to do this, you can't work for this. Even if you're a planner, this may not work for you. For those who can work on multiple projects, this will be a game changing for you because it will help you progress in your writing journey faster. When you're working on 2 or 3 projects at the same time, it makes you go further down your journey because you have not just one project in development, you have multiple. And I want to make it very clear here. When I say at the same time, it's not the same time. What you're going to do is you're going to pick 2 or 3 projects. Then out of the projects you selected, pick the project you must or you absolutely want to be working on the most. This will be the working project, the project that you come back to at all times. You will work on this project until you run out of steam, need a break, or just hit a roadblock and your brain needs time to process it. This is when you'll jump to one of the other projects and you'll work on that one. You'll always come back to the main project. There's a reason why this is your work in progress. It's the one you're focusing on now. When I learned I was a planner, this is what I did. And I found out it works best, at least for me, and I would probably say for most, one of your projects is in greater development than another. Marx Valero was the project I wanted to be working on. That was my project. I would jump to Forbidden Realm, which had been in development for about 5 years at this point. Jumping back and forth between these 2 projects every few days when I hit a roadblock with Marx helped. And I made huge progress developing Marx Valero by doing this in just a summer. Carry a small notebook. Yes, carry one of these, a small notebook and a pen wherever you go. Trust me, it's a game changer, which is surprising to say because it's super common advice, but not many writers actually do it for some reason. And the reason I say this is because you never know when inspiration is going to hit and that idea pops up. This idea could be the solution to the problem you're having with your novel or a project that's on hiatus. And if you don't write it down, you might forget it, and you'll go to work on it and you're like,
What's that idea again?
oh, fuck. But Tim, why can't I just write this in my phone?
You can.
If that will work best for you, do it, because you're writing it down at least. I prefer the pen and paper approach because many studies have shown you remember things better when you write them down by hand than typing them. Plus, The notebook is just for ideas. Nothing, and I mean nothing, goes into this notebook than but ideas. Whereas your phone has all these extra apps and you can easily forget that you put it there. Don't be afraid to abandon a project, especially something that's just you're not feeling, it's becoming too much of a hassle to work on, or you just completely lost all interest or passion for it. It's not a waste of time because it's part of your writing journey and learning what goes into a novel and what it takes to keep you motivated on a project, especially starting off to work on something you're passionate about than something you're not passionate about. And before you go in to say, okay, I'm abandoning this idea, this project and working on this one, it's not because you had a new, prettier idea that's burning a hole in your brain. No, you do not abandon projects for that.
No.
And just because you abandon a project doesn't mean you can't come back to it later on. And if you plan to do this from the start, you're actually not abandoning the project, you're just putting that project on hiatus. Taking a long break from a project can do wonders for that project. When I say taking a long break,
I'm talking years here.
if you decide you need to take a break from a project or just abandon it altogether, if you started to draft a novel, finish writing that novel. If it's a series, only the book you're on. The reason is you need to finish what you start. Leave something in the tank. Ernest Hemingway said the best time to stop writing is when you know what comes next. This way you leave something in your well of creative energy that will replenish overnight and you can start fresh and keep writing. You want your creative energy at its peak. Story time. And I'm about to brag.
Not really. But really.
When I started writing, I could write a 70 to 90,000 word novel in about 30 days. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I said 30 days. Okay, maybe not the 90,000 words. That was more like 45 days, but that's still good for a new writer. Now, if I left it at that, you would all hate and be jealous of me, like you should if that was the whole story.
It's not.
And what I left out purposely about that 30, it took place over a 6-month period. How's that? Well, it's simple. When I was writing Marx v. Lyra, I would write like mad all day long, hit 2,000-3,000 words each day for a few days, maybe a week and a half, and then be done, burnt out. All my creative energy was gone. The well is dry. I would have to wait until that well completely refilled, and that would sometimes take weeks. Even to this day, it is hard for me not to use up all my creative energy. There you have it. My 5 elite writing tips for new writers. Which one of these tips did you like the most? Did you like any of them? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you like this video, I would love it if you would smash that like button and subscribe because it helps support the channel. Don't forget, you can download my free Excel word count trackers. Bing! Thanks for watching. Bye!